Well, now joining us is Gareth Young, who's standing in Garff. The Labour Party, right, ticket?
It is, yes.
Explain. Why?
Well, I grew up in a relatively deprived part of the UK, inner city Manchester, and my dad's side of the family were all very, very much conservative based, and as I was growing up, didn't really see anything else. When I was coming into high school, and just towards the end of primary school, my parents divorced, and my stepdad came onto the scene and talked to me very differently as I started coming of age about the different political spectrums and where things sit. And after that, I realised the fact that I actually wouldn't sit in the same kind of camp as what my dad would sit in, but I was very much a Labour supporter.
But the Isle of Man ones, they're not tied up, are they? I mean, they're independent of each other, aren't they?
Yes, they are, yeah. So that's where I kind of originated. Yeah. And then from there, when I moved to the Isle of Man quite a long time ago, met my wife, I took an interest in the local politics and where things sat. And I know David Cretney was always the kind of the one Labour candidate that was around. Yeah. And then when I decided to run, I know my viewpoints aligned quite nicely with the Labour Party, so I decided to join and stand as a Labour Party candidate. So. Well,
it's interesting because so many independent, but it's interesting. You think you know that's where you're going to be the best fit.
Yes, I fit in well with them. Yeah. My viewpoints and kind of the way I think about things align well.
Now you're a teacher.
I am.
Teachers score well, I think.
I enjoy teaching.
Right.
I think it's not a job you can do if you don't enjoy it, because I think some days of the week it'd be the worst job in the world if you don't enjoy it. But helping young people and helping people in the community, it's kind of something that I really enjoy myself. And
but you will be giving all that up, I guess.
I have to, unfortunately.
So on the doorstep then, besides the party politics, you're obviously interacting. What's going on there?
So there's very much a split because Garff is such a massive area.
Huge.
And you've got kind of a few different kind of camps with slightly different issues. So you've got Onken, which are the lakeside kind of area that then vote for Onken commissioners but Garff MHKs, and they get quite unhappy about that kind of split and they don't quite know where they fit. You've then got Baldrine that has a quite niche set of issues around their roads and kind of the structure, and then you've got Laxey and Lonnon with its sewerage problems, the lack of maintenance that's going on around all three areas, and then you've got up to Mackald where you've then got your internet issues and roads and maintenance issues again. There's a lot of maintenance issues that I talk to people about, and the fact that things don't seem to be getting done in a timely fashion more than anything.
And they're telling you this, you're telling them what?
So I agree with them. It's problems that I've seen over the last kind of 14, 15 years of living around this area, that they're things that I've seen and that I want to see things being done about, and they're things that are really relevant to those local people.
Well, I should have asked you, I mean, I do with anyone who's standing as a party thing. If you had a fallout, what would you do if you didn't see eye to eye in the future? Would you keep as an independent, or would you go for the by-election, or what sort of thing? Have you read that one at all? Thought about that?
I've not put a huge amount of thought into it, but at the same time, there's always going to be conflicts within any kind of party setup, because you will disagree with people, and I quite like the people that are in the Labour Party, because I feel that you can actually talk things through properly with them. And if you do have a difference of opinions, there is absolutely no problems with talking it through with them. And even if at the end of it, if you disagree, you still move forward together as a party, as a united front, on the best course of action for the people. It's not a personal thing. It's not anything, and it's not an attack against any of us or anything like that. But all we want to do is the best for the people.
And would you be willing to be part of government if you got in?
I would love to be.
Right.
I'd absolutely love to be.
Positive? I like that. Any particular areas, though?
Obviously, education is the one that
would you go for that?
Would stand out.
Is that too obvious, though, sometimes? You don't get too close to something.
But at the same time, I think it's an area that requires quite a substantial amount of development still. There's issues within education that need to be sorted out, and that you see on a day-to-day basis, and how all those pieces of the puzzle fit together. So that is something that I would like to get my teeth into and drive forwards for the future. I'd like to get my teeth into kind of any area, though, at the same time, because I think if you've got somebody who's progressive and forward-thinking and willing to put the effort in to drive things forwards, then those are the type of people you actually need within that government.
What's your view of how the government's been doing, and maybe the education side is obviously something very close to you? I mean, things you think you could obviously tweak or change or have an input to?
I'm don't get me wrong, it's very easy to sit on the outside and criticise absolutely everything that you see and do. However, there are some things that the government's done quite well on. So, for example, when this current government came to fruition and they reformed the abortion laws and brought those kind of up to date, that was a nice positive step forwards for them. Then the way they initially handled the COVID pandemic was really, really good. But then I think more recently they've kind of let themselves down with a lack of transparency, a lack of proper communication, and those kinds of bits and pieces. And it's, like I said before, it's not a personal attack on them or anything like that. But I think that there is definite steps they should have taken that could have improved the state that we're currently in.
Do you see this? I mean, you haven't got politics before. I mean, you haven't done local commissions or anything like that.
No,
so
I've not. No.
Why this sudden jump all the way straight in there as MHK?
Well, I've always been interested in politics, and part of kind of what I enjoy doing is I enjoy helping as many people as possible. That's why, being a teacher, I enjoy teaching. I enjoy helping the students and bringing them forward and helping them succeed. But for me, it's a case of I'm able to help a larger number of people in this way, and I can help the widest audience possible to move forwards, and then we get to leave the island a better place for future generations then.
Do you see this as, if you don't get in this time, would you be seeing as going forward again and that sort of thing?
Yes, I think so. It's not really something that I've considered past September yet properly, because all my kind of concentration is on that September 23rd general election and making the cut at that point. However, if I was unsuccessful, I don't see this as something that I wouldn't go for again in the future. And
by standing, I'm presuming you got some criticism of the city members as well, or how did you come to this?
I do, but at the same time, I don't think it's really fair to stand here and just criticise them personally or anything like that, because it's not a personal attack or anything like that. And what I think of the way their politics run and the way they are as people, they are quite often vastly different. So,
at the time of recording, how many are going in for the Labour Party ticket, by the way?
So there's 3 of us.
Will there be more?
I don't think there's going to be further than that, but there's 3 of us currently standing. So there's myself, obviously, in Garff, there's Sarah Maltby for Douglas South, and then there's Joni Farragher as well.
And I always ask, do you see yourself being an alliance if someone from the Greens gets in, or Lib Van, or how's it? You see it?
From my viewpoint, I don't see that being an issue in any way, shape or form. I think if we want to move things forwards, we have to agree on points.
Well, you want party politics, don't you?
I want party politics, yes. And I think if the Greens get some members in and Lib Van get some members in, and all our viewpoints line up, then there is no reason.
They do cross over, don't they?
They do. There is some quite significant crossovers with them.
Yeah.
So at that point there, I don't see why we wouldn't be allied in moving things forwards. So especially if we're open and honest with each other and moving things forward for the benefit of people, and it's not our own personal benefit, then that can't be a bad thing.
So the Quell administration, not impressed? I mean, I don't put words in your mouth. I mean, how would you could do better? Sorry, I'm putting words in your mouth.
It's okay.
I'm trying not to.
It's all right. Personally, yes, I think we could have done better.
Right.
I think there are aspects that have let us down quite substantially, and I think we've got to strive to do better, because if we don't strive to do better, then it says we're happy with the current state of affairs. We're happy with massive government overspends on capital projects. We're happy with delivering services that don't fulfil our criteria. We're happy with not having enough dentists or doctors on the island. But
it all costs money. You've got to come up with a way to make this fund it, right? I mean, that's always the
It is.
thing.
It's always the big question.
Everyone can say they want to do something, but you've got to fund it.
You do have to fund it, and I think we need to get hold of our finances properly. We need to look at budgeting properly. We need to look at the way our taxation works and how we're going to implement that in the future. We've got the global corporation tax that's been put out there that we've signed up to. How all those things are actually going to play out and how our budget's going to work for going forward. We need to spend responsibly. We can't just keep overspending on things and actually expecting there to be an infinite money pot.
As a party, you presumably will pick the person you want to be the Chief Minister. I mean,
yes.
None of you will be in this before, so it's unlikely you're going to put yourselves forward. Or you might do, but
don't get me wrong. It's something I would like to do in the future.
Oh, okay.
But probably not on the first round through.
Why
So-
not? Put your name forward. But who would you go for? Is that been decided yet?
It's not been decided as a
But
party.
you would vote en bloc, would you, if you had 3 members in there? Is that
If-
how it would work? Or would you be voting independently?
We haven't actually discussed exactly what
Right.
we would do, and I think it really does depend on the political
Who do you
makeup.
want?
Currently, looking at them, there's a couple that I like. I quite like the way Chris Thomas dissects things that are going on in Tynwald. He does his due diligence well, and I think that's a good quality to have. I quite like the fact that
Got
the lady-
Alison or Cannon or...
the lady from Peel, who's the MLC, Janet Paul Wilson,
Yeah.
I think it is. I think she's
Interesting.
very intelligent, very well thought out. She's obviously spent a lot of
Okay.
time in the
But you don't
legislative
think it
council.
needs to be someone that's already a minister? You don't... That doesn't bother you? That bit?
No, not really. I
Right.
think it's whether or not they have the qualities to
And
lead.
potentially you would like to one day?
One day, definitely.